It is that time again to recap on what bullish news has come out for XRP, whether that be regulated futures or even more exciting, purchasing property with your XRP. It's all starting to get exciting. Yes, the price may be a little bit disappointing, but the best, in my opinion, is yet to come. So make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for all the latest when it comes to XRP, meme coins, altcoins, crypto news, and everything else. We got you covered here on the 2Bit Crypto channel. With that being said, let's get into the video. So a major milestone has now been achieved for XRP. Regulated XRP futures in the US are officially live. These are delivering compliant, physically settled contracts that enhance market integrity and strengthen price discovery. They also open a completely new avenue into Wall Street. Now, this is some news that's really gone under the radar. Not many people are talking about it. Obviously, everyone's kind of talking about why isn't XRP at $3? The SEC dropped the case, etc., etc. We'll touch on that in just a minute. But Binomial, US-based digital asset derivatives exchange, launched its first ever US commodities futures trading commission regulated futures contract for XRP. This is pretty bullish news. And only today, we've heard that Coinbase is looking to buy a giant derivatives and futures option market trader, which would be super bullish as well. $4 billion is the ticket on the table for that one. So again, this is very good news for everyone that's holding XRP, for everything that's kind of playing out that lots of people simply don't understand. They're going to bring the new XRP US dollar Myra futures, and they're designed to enhance market integrity and ensuring contracts are physically settled in actual XRP rather than cash. Now, once again, this, in my opinion, is the second step. We've had institutional investment. We've had the finance market look into XRP. I talked about this on a previous video. 16 banks have either interacted with, been part of the test beds, or knew and do use XRP and specifically the XRPL. But the fact that here, you're going to have futures markets. So think about how you trade futures in a minute. Let's say you do isolated on USDT or something like that. And then this one, you're going to be paid physically out in XRP. This is pretty exciting, and again, ushers in a new era for both XRP and futures trading. I think this is going to be pretty bullish, and we're going to see more and more come on top of that. We also know that more active addresses are going online. So yes, the price might not be doing what we hope. More people are actively trading on XRP Ledger. That more people are buying XRP. Nearly 627,000 active addresses. This is the most since April 2023. And if you actually go back and look at the price, look at where we were then, down around 40 cents. Now we're at $2.38, $2.40 with the same number of active addresses. This has to be bullish. People need to understand exactly what this is looking like. More and more people interacting, more and more people getting involved, more and more people positioning themselves for what they believe is coming around the corner. Now, one of the questions that I get asked a lot here on the channel, and I cover XRP nearly every single day, is, well, how much do I need to have 2Bit? What would be the best? Should I invest all of what I've got into XRP? Well, we can kind of take a look at some of those numbers and sort of run up what we think could look like. I always think it's interesting when you start to run some of these. So the XRP profit calculator. What does this look like? If you were to buy some XRP today, $238 is the current price. Let's say you have a $10,000 investment pot to put in, and let's say your sell price is going to be what some people predict. Let's say $7.50. That feels like a pretty reasonable plot. What are we going to look at? Well, this is where it starts to get pretty interesting. We're looking at a potential exit amount of around 31,513. And again, think about that. It's only a 3x from where we currently are, just over 30,000. Well, let's say you want to get $1 million. What do you need to do? You're going to have to put a little bit more in. That's the reality. You're going to have to put in around $350,000. That's going to get you to about 1.1 million. You could bring that down a little bit further. Let's say 340, going to get you to 0.07. Now, if you were to say, well, I've only got two options here, 2Bit. I've got 50K, but I can invest over a period of time. Well, let's say people think we could even get to $50 at some point. Guess what? That's going to net you that $1.05 million you're looking at. Is $50 a 25x from our current position out of the realms of possibility? Well, let's take a look on the weekly chart, because this is where it starts to get just a little bit more interesting. Now, XRP has been sat pretty much trending sideways. We've seen this doing it, but if you take a trend-based Fibonacci extension, where could we get to as we start to push this? Well, look at this. The 4.236 Fibonacci is at 1429. That could be pretty interesting. What does that give us in terms of a return? 1429, top end of the Fibonacci, 300 $50,000. Now, a lot of this is clear speculation and a lot of things would have to happen, but just think of this. We've got derivative trading paying out in XRP. You've got 17 or 18 institutions and banks already trading XRPs there on the ledger, and the SEC have dropped the case. This opens the floodgates up for everything related to XRP. The Ripple CEO himself talking specifically about reducing the unlocks from the escrow that we've been talking about as well. Hard to believe Ripple hasn't got a very big future. And as the days go by, we seem to see more and more bullish news. I have a funny feeling something big is coming next week, whether that's the digital asset stockpile, whether that's the reserve currency being XRP, whether it's a new partner, but it all feels like something is coming next week. Think about it. XRP at $50 for the $50,000 investment. It's going to net you a tidy little return. But let me know, what's your price prediction? Where do you want to see XRP? And we'll keep you posted on what that looks like as an investment strategy. And you may even get an opportunity to get in a little bit lower. But remember, having some XRP is better than having none at all. Let me know, as always, what you think of it in the comments down below. And until next time, hit that subscribe button for more. We'll see you very soon. Bye-bye.